Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2, where it appears that we are at the end of Act 1. We have found the treasure that will put us back on our feet. Treasure that will undoubtedly only be split two ways between myself and Varric. And maybe between some of my crew? That seems to, like, nobody has brought that up. Nobody has said, hey, we're going with you. We'd like to get paid, too. Got 4 gold sovereigns, a bunch of junk. 3 gold sovereigns. The key out, I would imagine. Ooh.
A key. The kind that opens doors, I hope. Let's collect the best pieces we can carry out of here and then go.
Let's see, is that better than what you're using right now? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, let's get out of here. Move on to Act 2. But what did we discover aside from the idol?
I'd say this is our way back.
How long to get back?
If we're unlucky, maybe a week.
And if we're lucky?
We stumble over Bartrand's corpse on the way.
I also don't remember what happened to Bartrand in the game either, so I'm sure we're going to have to deal with Bartrand in the idol later on. But also, like, one of the things that happened earlier on...
This part of the deep roads looks familiar.
We're back where we started. And in only 5 days. Not bad, eh?
Could we... slow down?
I was going to say...
I'm not feeling very well.
Like, Varric had mentioned if the champion knew what was happening, something was going to happen to her sister.
Let's make camp if you're sick.
I'll wager it was those deep mushrooms we found.
No. Bethany! Oh, Maker, no. It's the blight, isn't it? I'll end up just like Wesley, won't I? There must be some other way. I'm not going to last until the surface. It's coming on faster. There isn't anything we can do. Not down here.
Is there something we can do, or is Bethany dead? And will I have to start using Anders like a sucker?
You'll take care of it, won't you, sis? You always were a heartbreaker, Bethany. And you always made me laugh. It's just you now. Take care of Mother.
Should I reload the game and then not take Bethany down and then redo everything that led to this point? Am I willing to go that far?
Home, sweet home. Finally. Oh, I wonder if Bartrand came back to the city. You think I'd be that lucky?
Luck hasn't exactly been our strong point so far.
This is true. I'm sorry about what happened to you.
So is she dead now? Did we
should have seen Bartrand's
deal with
trail
her?
coming. I'll find that maggot if it's the last thing I do. I imagine you.
I feel as though the cutscenes were slightly unclear.
Family.
I don't have much choice.
You'll be a wealthy woman, Hawke. It wasn't all for nothing.
Oh, my baby. You made it home. Bethany isn't with you? No. Is she coming back? I'm sorry, Mother.
So the champion was responsible for her sister's death.
I mean,
Yes, but that's not the connection you're looking for.
I don't know how responsible?
Guilt makes for the perfect motivation. And the champion's companions? Merrill, Aveline, Isabella? That Warden Anders?
Don't remind me. I introduced them.
We thought they all came from Ferelden together, but now it makes sense. Motive and opportunity.
It's still not what you think.
Then I need to hear more.
Unless you've already decided. I can always go if you don't need me anymore.
Tell me what came next.
All right, we'll just push along. This is what happened. The tragedy has affected us.
Made us a fortune.
We will carry forward.
In the world, literally, bought a mansion in Hightown.
The same mansion that was in the Hawke family?
Even the Viscount was taking notice. I felt responsible for Bethany's death. She was a good girl, and met a bad end. 3 years later, the Kunari still haven't left. The Kunari insisted they were waiting for their ship. But some of us knew better.
I don't know, part of me feels like there should be new starting gear for every act. Like, if this is supposed to be, like, several years later, like, the idea that Hawke is still using the same equipment.
There are concerns the Kunari influence is no longer contained.
Was it ever? Kirkwall has tension enough between Templar and Mage. But these Kunari, they sit like gargoyles waiting for Maker knows what, and everyone goes mad around them. Nearly 4 years I've stood between fanatics. And now, this.
A book. Oh, there's a note by the book.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Leave us. Meredith at my throat, Orsino at my heels, and a city scared of heretical giants. Balance has held because the Kunari ask for nothing. Even the space in Lowtown was a gift to contain them. But now, the Arishok has requested you. By name. What did you do?
I can't help it if I make an impression.
Apparently not. I remember how you helped my son. It seems you are meant to have influence above your station. Speak to the Arishok. Give him what he needs to keep the peace. Can you do that for Kirkwall, Sirrah Hawke?
Sure. Why not just expel the Kunari if you're so worried?
Sounds like you'd be better off without this headache.
They will not leave, and we don't have the resources to force the issue.
Okay, that makes
At
sense.
least, not in a way that would leave the city intact. If they had come to conquer, I suspect they would have done so.
I've seen hate for them, but I haven't heard anything major in years.
Zealots are bravest where their lies can't be argued, behind closed doors. Chantry leaders see Kunari beliefs as a challenge, not an attack. But the message gets muddled among casual adherents. I'm certainly not equipped to argue the fine points of faith.
How's your son doing?
Have the years been kind to Seamus?
He is his own man. But your actions tempered him somewhat. He's not so angry at the world. I thank you for that. I may not agree with him on many things, but I am proud of what he is becoming.
The Kunari usually arrive as conquerors. Odd that this has gone on so long.
Very, and I have no interest in antagonizing them. That is partially why I suffer being a messenger today. A treaty exists, and it has been honored. Although...
You have doubts?
They claim they're waiting for a second ship. But it has been 3 years. They want something else.
What does the Arishok want?
Any idea what I can expect?
None. Honestly, I don't think I've heard two direct words from the Arishok. Other than his rather deliberate phrasing of begone. If you think his asking me to notify you of this is strange, well, you would be right.
I'm always willing to assist.
Well, that is an attitude this city has lacked for a long time. Appease the Arishok. Take his demand and let him return to dormancy. As awkward as this has been, it is better than the alternative. Stepping down is looking more and more appealing.
Server connection lost. Why does that even have to be notified to me? Okay, so actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and see if, like, how much actually changes if you go with Anders instead of Bethany, which would have been before the Deep Roads. My gosh. Have I no saves in between save 761 and 844? Wow. That is a wrinkle. That is... a full hour, almost a full hour of gameplay. Wow. Okay, so I did some minor amounts of research, i.e. Google search, top results. So it turns out, no matter what you do, Bethany is removed from the party after Act 1. That's done. She's removed from the party. If you bring her with you to the Deep Roads, she manifests the taint and dies. If you bring her with you to the Deep Roads along with Anders, Anders helps her become a Grey Warden, and she leaves the party to be a Grey Warden. If you don't take her with you to the Deep Roads, she gets found out for being a mage, and she ends up going to a circle. So no matter what, you don't see Bethany ever again. Who shall be in my group? Does Meryl have access to magic, or is it just Anders? Let's take a look at, or healing magic, should I say. Now that my healer is gone. Yeah, let's try this crew. I doubt it's going to be that great. Oh, and I just gave her that staff too. So her staff is gone. You know, in that case... I'll just load up my save, remove her equipment, because that way I can at least give her staff to somebody else. So one sec, I'm going to cut ahead to that. Alright, I have gone through the cutscenes separating the end of Act 1 and the beginning of Act 2, so now I can at least give Meryl the staff that I had given to Bethany before she died. And she can also get that seems good. And the Hawke family crest to prevent her from getting knockback. There we go. Do I have stuff for everybody? Nope. What is your stuff? You've got a thing just for Fenris. You don't need +5 mana. Yeah, sure, why not? That's fine. And you... That dagger's probably better than one of the things you're using. Excellent. And for some reason, you have no rings. Let's just give you tons of stamina. All right. And to level up everybody. Let's see, 9 points. It's been a while since I've used these characters. Let's have 4. How about 3, 3, and 3? Does she have access to healing spells? The answer is no, she doesn't. That is a problem. Which means I'm going to have to swap somebody out who can heal. What about you? Do you do anything interesting? Let's put 6 points into that, 3 points into there. And do I have something that helps your defense? Doesn't seem like that. You can get... You need a lot of dexterity because your attack is not so great. Alright. And also, that was a sustained mode. Oh, excellent. It's just on. Okay. Let us be off. Find out where our new quests are taking us beyond just the Canary.
Oh, there you are.
Why, hello.
I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
We can't all be short and bearded like your people, Bowden.
Indeed. It's quite a shame, really. I came to deliver this to you. The last of the proceeds from all that treasure you found in the deep roads. It seems your friend Varric found a buyer after all, yes? Quite well done.
So you raced here just to give me this?
I didn't want to be responsible for so much coin. Just holding that purse was making me sweat. Before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home.
What about him?
Pay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully.
Only Sandal gets to stay at the house?
I didn't ask you to be my manservant, Bowden.
But I owe you a debt, and after what happened in the deep roads, I have no other way to repay you. I'll leave you to your adventures. Your mother asks that you return to the mansion when you have a chance.
50 gold! Excellent. Because I love gold.
Slaves.
Would-be slaves.
Only half
They
bonus
weren't
points
slaves
if you
Still, you did the right
if you know
thing.
that reference.
Many would turn a blind eye.
Don't read too much into it, all right? It just seemed a good idea at the time.
You know that Marion, Hawke, and Isabella are both rogues because they are standing exactly the same way as each other. Alright, is there a shop anywhere in this area? Yeah, let's see what Corval's blades and something's armory are selling. And see if we can sell junk. Robes by Jean-Luc. How are you selling anything worth interesting? Hold on. What is your strength, by the way? Are you now able to use the Oathbreaker? Excellent. Can you upgrade people's like your companion's armor? Because that seems like something I would want to do. Ooh, bonus to lockpicking. Every time that I look at my character in the inventory screen, I'm always like, who is this? Oh, there's a helmet now. I've been hiding the helmet all this time. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Backpack. What is this? Ooh, an extra rune slot. Ah, rune slots for my companions.
You won't find better prices.
I would not wish your sister's end on anyone. Accept my condolences.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to look at runes. Corval's blades. You have anything interesting? Oh yeah, did I sell my junk?
Got them too?
Olaf's armory? Yeah, let's take a look at what runes we can order. An armor rune that increases armor. Amazing! I would hope that it does that. An armor rune that increases fire resistance, electricity damage. How do you install runes? Do you have to do it at like a workbench or something?
Andarana Tishan, sister.
Alright, let's see who wants to give me a quest in this area. Yevon, hello.
You! This is your fault. You and that blighter, Varric Tethras. You'll be the end of my boys.
I don't even know who you are.
Yevon, member in good standing of the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Not that it really matters to people like you.
You'll have to be more specific. A lot of things are my fault.
My sons are lost in the deep roads because of stories about you. Your sodding glory and treasure.
Don't you dare blame her. We both know this was Iwan's doing.
If you want to keep your job, shut your mouth, woman.
Your boys are grown men. It was their own decision.
Your boys don't sound bright enough to follow a map. I'm sure they didn't get too far.
My boys aren't stupid. Foolhardy, maybe, but not stupid. You're the only one who knows where they went. They were following the path of your expedition. Please help me find them. Don't let my boys die down there.
Your sons made an expedition into the deep roads. Did anyone go with them?
They went alone, the fools. Just my 3 boys against every darkspawn in the...
I at least took a party of 4.
Iwan was Yevon's middle son. The whole thing was his idea. Emrys and Merrin were just following his lead. The greedy bastard didn't want to hire anyone else if it meant he had to share the spoils.
Sounds familiar.
I thought coming to the surface meant I would never have to face losing my sons to the darkspawn.
Sure, I'll look. How many Darkspawn could have come back in 3 years anyway?
Thank you, Messer. Those boys are my life. They entered the deep roads using the same passage you did. Please.
Oh, which means it's the same map, which means I don't have to... The game developers don't exactly have to... Isabella, why does it seem that everything I do upsets her? Everything. Like, what kind of questing does she expect me to do? Like, if it was up to Isabella, we would stay at home, sit on the couch, and watch Netflix for hours and hours on end. Dragon Age version of Netflix. Dragonflix. Fancy. Got a chandelier. And there's that rug that really ties the room together. That note looked like it was as stiff as a board. The way that the camera was presenting that door made it look very ominous. Oh. I even have my residential pleasantries to wear. How fancy.
You've settled in nicely.
It's just luck. And skill.
Indeed. Still, more coin never hurts, right? Say, if someone wanted to pass some work your way...
I'm listening, Aveline. What's the trouble?
A thorn in my side, inventing trouble and scaring people.
By now, she's the captain of the guard.
Emmerich, the Templar. He wants your help, and some sort of official sanction.
Official sanction?
For his investigation. He's convinced that every random murder in the past few years is connected, and he won't be quiet.
You don't think it's worth investigating?
I have. He even convinced one of my lieutenants to raid the Dupuis mansion. Nothing there. You wouldn't believe how much ass I had to kiss after that. Bloody hobbyist constable. Why can't he spend his declining years building a boat or something?
Seems like it should be easy to prove if there are bodies.
Kirkwall isn't the safest place. That doesn't mean everything terrible is related. There's no sense to that. Can't be.
I seem to recall he had some good leads.
Then you won't mind chasing his threads. If it leads somewhere, I'll pick it up. Right now, he's just distracting my men. He's in the gallows. Do what you can. Thanks, Hawke. I'll try not to make a habit of this.
All right. Shall we use the enchantment apparatus? Ooh, what can we do to, Bianca? Oh, we can just slap a rune.
You like the shiny?
Sure, why not?
Hey, look. A partially burned page from Anders' manifesto.
Oh my gosh. Why do I have so much mail? Have I been letting the mail build up for the last 3 years? Also, we need to get more Alfred potions. Though maybe I should consider getting restoration potions instead, because it's not like I really need to cure injuries, whereas restoration potions do the exact same amount of health regeneration while also offering mana and stamina regeneration. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, However many that was. 37 gold in restoration potions. 77 restoration potions. Okay, that was more than I was thinking. But that's good, because I don't have to buy restoration potions ever again. Night Terrors, greetings. I hope this letter finds you well. I've often thought of you in these past 3 years. Without your kindness, my Fenriel would have been long since sold to slavers. Instead, he has thrived and begun to master his magic. But now his nightmares have caught up with him, and neither the Keeper nor the First Enchanter know how to help. I don't know where else to turn. Please, come to my home in the Alienage. I will be waiting to speak with you. Thank you again for the compassion you have shown Fenriel in the past. Sincerely yours, Ariana. Sarah Hawke. Years past, I fell into wickedness and was swept up in the mad ambitions of the Blood Mage Tyrone. You spared my life at the Blooming Rose, and for many months I wish you had killed me. But I found the Maker's Light in my deepest despair, and I now seek absolution. Tyrone wrote many tomes containing dark secrets she learned from the Fade. She protected them with demons forged into their very bindings. You must find and destroy these tomes, lest others follow her dark path. I wish I could help you, but the Templars never let me leave my cell. I can only send my prayers. Is that the exotic woman of the West? To Hawke. It's been years, and the Circle has yet to find a way to help me. I've seen the way the Templars look at me. I know they want me to undergo the Rite of Tranquility. If something doesn't change soon, they will force it upon me. I try to keep myself under the control, but it's difficult. The nightmares are coming more frequently. They seem so real. I can't help thinking that the Dalish would have had an answer for this. Flag flying at half-staff? Does your soldier not stand to attention? Does your dwarf shy away from the deep roads? Come to Jorman's Apothecary and ask for our special sauce. Our special sauce is infused with the essences of 52 herbs. It's completely natural, completely safe, and absolutely effective. You will never feel the same again. Be the man other men want to be. Be the man you deserve to be. Messer Hawke, words aren't enough to convey how grateful I am. Thank you for saving my daughter from that monster. When I look at my little girl, I'm reminded of what you did for my family. Leah has found a hero in you. She's become interested in swordplay and combat, and she speaks of joining the guard one day. She seems none the worse for wear. In your debt, Elrin. Well, thank you, Elrin. Dear Sir or Madame, I am Lord Akim Falk of Starkhaven. I have faith in the Maker and Andraste, his beloved prophet, that I must bring this matter of urgent business to you. Years ago, I served the office of Seneschal to the royal family of Starkhaven. Sadly, they have been deposed, ousted by a foul usurper. I represent His Royal Highness, Prince Corbian Vale, the true heir to the throne, and with your help, Maker willing, we will see him wear the crown of Starkhaven once more. His Highness had a fortune of 11,000 sovereigns locked away in the vaults of the Royal Bank of Antiva. With access to his fortune, he can raise an army to retake the throne, but it is too dangerous for His Highness to simply withdraw the funds himself. That is where we require your assistance and discretion. Simply send me the details of an open bank account in Kirkwall, and I will arrange that the funds are transferred to you. My king will then contact you to retrieve his fortune, leaving you with a hefty award. I must warn you, the Antivans will not consider the account viable if it contains less than 100 sovereigns. Please observe the utmost confidentiality. It's too bad my account does not have enough sovereigns, because I spent it all on restoration potions. Hawke. Heard you lot got to the free marches. Don't know why you'd bother, but I suppose it's better than a relay. They got spiders up there? Big ones? Couldn't swing a dead cat round here without hitting a giant spider. That's what it feels. That's what it feels sometimes, walking around the Wounded Coast, and you're swinging a dead cat for some reason, and just hitting spiders left and right. But the blight drove them off. Maker, dark days ahead. Mark my words, a man can't even cover his blighted land with poisonous traps. Old Barlin. Gamblin Amel, payment is now 2 months late. Sarah, interest accrues, as you are well aware. You will find yourself barred from our establishments unless payment is made. Think! No better card, sharp, or numbers runner in Kirkwall will deal with you. I certainly hope this matter is attended to before steps are taken. Let us avoid further unpleasantness. Dearest Leandra, I hope you and the children are holding up. I'm so sorry about Carver. I remember the dear boy helping me trap rats in the cellar. The blight has taken too much for us. Thank the Maker for the hero of Ferelden and the Grey Wardens. Things are slowly getting back to normal in most parts of the country, but Lothering is gone for good. We had hoped to rebuild there, but the blight poisoned the land, and it will take decades for the earth to recover. It may never. Redcliffe is a nice place, and I'm starting to see it as home. The village saw some trouble during the blight, but it's recovering. Perhaps you could visit sometime. Please write me again, my dear. I wish to hear about your life in Kirkwall. Send my regrets and fond regards to the children. All right, wow, that was a lot.
It's strange living here again.
Oh, we bought our own mansion back.
Now owned by my child.
Like Varric just says, you bought a mansion.
Little girl staring out this window. I'm still grateful you used your money from the expedition to buy back the estate. I feel like an Amel again.
I'm going to make the name Hawke one to be proud of in this city.
I don't doubt it. Your father would have said that, with that exact look too. I just wish we could all be together as a family one more time. But I can't spend the rest of my life mourning Bethany and Carver. They're gone, and I can't bring them back. I guess I just need to start picking you out a suitable husband.
No.
I've been wondering if I shouldn't remarry. I'm sure the last thing you need is your mother watching over your shoulder every time you come home. But perhaps there is still life once your children have outgrown you.
You've been through a lot. You deserve any joy you can find.
Thank you, love. No one could ever replace your father. But it is refreshing to think I could still be courted at this age.
That's... Alright, let's see. We've got a couple quests.
I came in and watered your plants. Your friend, Meryl. Well, that was nice of her. Didn't Fenris say all Tevinter wine is made from the blood and tears of slaves? I hope he was exaggerating. Ah, this statue. Wait, where did I get this statue?
That is an excellent question.
The Pursuit of Knowledge by Brother Genitivi. Varric recommended this book, didn't he?
Oh, okay, there's the DLCs. We won't be worrying about either of them for a little while. Mark of the Assassin is going to come first, closer towards the end of Act 2.
You've had luck on your travels? A letter arrived for you. It's on the desk.
I'm aware of that.
Dog. Well, maybe chew marks add character to the piece.
For most good folk, the details of our calendar have little purpose. It is useful only for telling them when the Summer Day Festival will be held, and when the snows are expected to begin, and when the harvest must be complete. The naming of the years are a matter for historians and tacksmen, and few if pressed could even tell you the reason that our current age is named after dragons. It is 930 Dragon Age, the 30th year of the 9th age since the crowning of the Chantry's first divine. I must have forgotten that detail, that Dragon Age is also the way that timelines are measured in this game. Each age is exactly 100 years, with the next age's name chosen in the 99th year. The scholars in Val Royeaux advise the Chantry of Portents seen in that 99th year, and Chantry authorities pore over the research for months before the divine announces the name of the imminent age. The name is said to be an omen of what is to come. of what the people of Thedas will face for the next 100 years. The current age was not meant to be the Dragon Age. Throughout the last months of the Blessed Age, the Chantry was preparing to declare the Sun Age, named for the symbol of the Orlesian Empire, which at the time sprawled over much of the south of Thedas and controlled both Ferelden and what is now Navarra. It was to be a celebration of Orlesian imperial glory. But as the rebellion in Ferelden reached a head and the Battle of Riverdane was about to begin, a peculiar event happened. A rampage, the rising of a dreaded high dragon. Dragons had been thought practically extinct since the days of the Navarran dragon hunts, and they say that to see this great beast rise from the Frostbacks was both majestic and terrifying. As the rampage began and the high dragon decimated the countryside in its search for food, the elderly divine Faustine II abruptly declared the Dragon Age. Some say the divine was declaring support for Orlais in the battle against Ferelden, since the dragon is an element of the Defiel family heraldry of King Megran, the so-called usurper king of Ferelden. Be that as it may, the High Dragon's rampage turned towards Orlesian side of the Frostback Mountains, killing hundreds and sending thousands more fleeing to the northern coast. The Ferelden rebels won the Battle of Riverdane, ultimately securing their independence. Many thus think that the Dragon Age will come to represent a time of violent and dramatic change for all of Thedas. It remains to be seen. So we happen to be living during a time referred to as a Dragon Age. Okay, Anders has to come because he heals. We can try Fenris. Let's see, the docks is where the Qunari are.
I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for us to come here, considering who we're with?
I don't think the Templars will be surprised to see another mage here, do you?
Maybe not.
I'll try to look sufficiently meek and oppressed.
You're not helping.
This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle.
I mean, originally was a prison.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
Let's say the circle doesn't work.
According to everything I've seen, the Circle can't control mages anyhow.
And what is the alternative? Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason.
I don't mind upsetting Fenris. He seems like he's kind of an ass. Emmerich!
Hello, Emmerich. The guard captain says you're still chasing disappearing acts.
That's not funny. I need your help urgently. I've spent the past few years continuing my investigation into the murders of Nanette, Mary,
because the mage that was in that
I
facility
finally have a suspect,
escaped.
a man called Gascard Dupuis.
Dupuis? That's a funny name.
It's Orlesian. I believe he is descended from nobility. When I became convinced of his guilt, I went to the city guard and demanded that they do something. The guards raided his mansion and found nothing. They were forced to apologize, and I was reprimanded. Meredith forbade me from continuing my investigation. But she didn't say I couldn't seek outside help.
Were you the only person investigating these murders?
Yes, unfortunately.
The Templar Order believes this is a matter for the City Guard. And the City Guard, well, they rejected my evidence and dismissed the murders as isolated incidents. They don't care either. Women are dying out there, and no one's doing anything.
I retrieved a sack of human remains for you. Didn't you show it to the...
Oh, they just figured that was just a random bunch of remains.
The remains could have been gathered together by scavengers looking for bits of gold and jewelry. They said there was no way to tell if the remains even belonged to missing women. I had no choice but to continue the investigation on my own.
I want to say there is a oh my gosh, what is the name of that comedian? John. He's the voice of Spider-Ham in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If I remember to actually edit this thing properly, I'll just put his name like here. Anyway, he has this bit where he talks about like what is homicide work 100 years ago, before they had DNA. Been like somebody would have been like, oh look, the killer spilled his blood on his way out the door. It's on the floor over there. And the detective walks up to it and goes, gross. Now what about some clues? Gotta look for some clues around here. Like, oh, you got some dead bodies. Oh, that looks like a bunch of dead bodies. You can't see their face though, because they're just a pile of bones.
What have you learned about Gascard Dupree?
He's a reclusive nobleman who's rarely seen outside his estate in Hightown. He knew 2 of the murdered women and made inquiries about the others. It cannot be a coincidence.
It cannot be a coincidence. It sounds exactly like a coincidence.
Gascard Dupuis is hiding something. I'm convinced of it.
And I'm supposed to be the outside help.
My hands are tied. I can't do this on my own. What if one of the women who died was someone you loved? If Gascard Dupuis is guilty, he must be stopped before he kills again. We have to try.
Why is it always Hawke to the rescue?
I can't really answer that.
I suppose that's more of a rhetorical question.
State after nightfall. Please figure out what Dupuis is hiding. If he's innocent, find evidence to prove me wrong. It's just that simple.
Oh, if that upset it,
Self said magic is a curse. We're lucky to have a way to combat demonic influences through the love of the Maker.
That's great. So Fenris was upset from that. You, herbalist.
You're looking well. My store is much better stocked thanks to you. If you're interested in hunting down more ingredients, I can make other creations. And of course, I'll pay you for your work.
Sure. Just let me know what you need.
Perfect. I have a list of ingredients right here.
Excellent. Oh.
Welcome back to Souls, my friend.
Fenris. What can I do for you? Let's do that. And also... Yep, he does have access to Crushing Prison, so at least that's still there. And I haven't bothered giving him... Oh my, he has nothing. I'm gonna have to stop by anywhere and pick up... Yeah, next time I find some belts and stuff, I have to remember to give them to him, because I did not realize he is so just lacking of equipment. I think this is where I'm gonna... am I gonna stop here for the night? Yeah, let's stop here for the night.
The same thing that makes anything valuable. Someone's willing to pay for it.
That's not evasive.
Look, I didn't get where I am by showing my hand, you know.
No, your hand isn't what I hear you've been showing.
Yeah, we'll stop here for the night. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.